Hi everyone, welcome back to another Luminar Neo video. This time I'll be looking at the newly released Panoramic Stitching Extension. I had been testing the beta for over a week now, but I wanted to wait for the release version to make this review. This AI-powered extension is capable of stitching a large number of images together to create massive panoramas, which includes HDR as well, but it can also turn video footage into panoramic images, which I can't wait to show you. If you like what you see and want to buy Luminar Neo either on a Pro or Ultimate plan, which includes all current and future extensions and much more, or purchase a lifetime license, you will be able to get this extension for free as well. For more information, check out the affiliate links in the description. Also, don't forget to use my coupon code peterviragphoto, which is gonna get you an extra 10% off during checkout. Anyway, let's have a look at this extension. Let's start with some smaller stacks. I took this first panorama in the CBD of Melbourne a few years ago at dusk and contains 7 vertical shots. The user interface is extremely intuitive. All you gotta do is select the images by holding down Shift and clicking on the first and last shots and just simply drag and drop into this box. With the settings, I normally just tick all the available boxes, such as distortion correction, vignette removal, and the color fringing or chromatic aberration reduction, then just hit start, and the program goes through all the necessary steps to create a panorama. It is much faster than Photoshop, for example, especially with gigantic panoramas that contain a couple of dozen or even more individual shots. Once the stitching is done, you can select from a multitude of options. I normally just leave it at spherical, but you can experiment with cylindrical, Mercator, plane, and even apply a fisheye perspective if you wish to do so for some creative imagery. After making a selection, you just hit continue and then use either the auto crop function or manually adjust the crop. Once that's done, you can save the image, which will end up in the folder called Panorama Stitching, from which you can export it. Here is the final version, where I added a bit of color and adjusted the overall exposure by bringing out more detail in the shadows. The second panorama was created from 7 shots as well, and I was really happy to see that the latest update has fixed some sharpness issues, which you can see clearly in this section of the image, where in the beta version the windows were much blurrier with less definition, which was corrected. I also wanted to show you a 54 image HDR panorama. These were sample images that Luminar Neo provided, and I decided to test it out. It definitely has some issues, and I don't think this panel was created properly because of framing inconsistencies, and also was definitely missing frames with different exposures, but it's still good to see that the program manages to stitch such a large number of images together. I tried to do the same in Photoshop, and it just simply stopped working after a while. This was the beta version, and for example here you can see some stitching issues which look considerably better here, and also the sharpness is significantly better in the latest version. These darker bands that you can see across the image were caused by the specific wide-angle lens used, and maybe removing vignetting manually before importing would have resolved that, but as I said, this was just a demonstration to show you that with proper technique you can create huge panoramas that can look amazing. I also wanted to show you a 21 image area panorama that I took with my Phantom 4 Pro several years ago. The final image looks pretty good with only a few stitching artifacts. Once again, much better than the beta or the initial release version produced, so I was quite happy with that too. I've done much more testing with other panoramas as well, but I don't want to bore you with those. I'm really excited to show you this last feature, which is capable of turning video clips into panoramic shots. The beta version had some minor hiccups and produced some ghosting artifacts, but the latest version has pretty much ironed out this major bug. I'm gonna show you a couple of test clips that I managed to convert into panos. Both of them were taken in the backyard, and with this first example, I just selected the starting and ending point in the clip and then just hit continue. Then it took only a few seconds for Luminar Neo to find key points and align the frames contained in this footage to come up with this awesome panorama with a not so awesome subject. I was really happy that it didn't look transparent anymore, which happened a number of times in the beta version. For the second test, I decided to manually select the subject and customize the panorama by selecting specific frames. Once I did that, I also narrowed the overall selection by defining the starting and ending point once again in the clip, then just hit continue, and this was the final image that we got. I can't wait to test this out with some wildlife footage down the track and see what we can come up with. Anyway, this is my initial impression and basic demonstration of this new extension that still has room to improve, but definitely a great addition with a lot of creative potential. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to learn more about Luminar Neo, I have a playlist for you, so feel free to check that out as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks again, and catch you very soon in the next one.